Weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision. Thank you for tuning in. Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis here to break you off some MMA news. And of course, look at the fights from last week. Look forward to the fights we have going on this weekend. And see what else is going on in the world and hopefully make you laugh at shitty jokes.
They're not that shitty.
Not yet.
We'll get there.
A couple more drinks, they might be. All right, so basically that's the spiel right there. MyMMAnews.com. They got some stories going on right now about World Series of Fighting being done. The era is over.
We talked about this for what now? A month?
Yeah.
I think we took bets when World Series of Fighting first started out anyway. Right? Yeah. How long it was going to last?
We absolutely did, 100%.
I don't know. I don't even consider myself a reliable source anymore.
Yeah. Well, that and one FC, which already changed too, right?
Which is already now just one championship.
False news.
Still there. World Series of Fighting has been shut down. It's gone on for 5 years now. I mean, obviously they lost a lot of their champions. They're signing other contracts.
So here's what
Ray Sefo was a fighter and an owner who paid himself the most to fight when he lost.
I'm confused now. Are they like closing their doors, restructuring, and reopening next year? Is that how this is working?
Yes.
Okay.
So now it's going to be called Professional Fighters League,
which you take issue with.
The PFL. I have a huge issue with this because they're trying to claim their biggest thing is that they are the world's only mixed martial arts league. But they're not a league.
But they're not a league.
At least in my opinion. A league, like a group of people.
Would have been IFL.
Yeah, it would have been IFL, where it's like team against team, where they're saying is we're going to have 7 different weight classes. 7 different people are going to be fighting these weight classes for a championship. They're all going to be going for a title. It's going to be the playoffs. Like the winner's going to get $1 million. But they're not team-based, which is what a league is?
That by the
definition I found on Google was that's what it was. So I don't understand what's happening. Apparently, it's owners of some Washington D.C. Conglomerate. These are the guys who tried to put together the Summer Olympics in Washington D.C., which they did not get. It's going to have a $10 million prize pool, $1 million cash payouts to individual champions. They're saying that they're going to try to go head to head with UFC. World Series of Fighting president said, "Look, we're going to use a proven sports format of MMA through a regular season with playoffs and championship fights. Our league is going to give every fighter equal opportunity to compete. No politics, no games. They're going to still use the decagon. Every fighters will have regular fights with no less than 3 scheduled per year. Every fighter is going to receive a regular paycheck each month, and every fighter will have the opportunity to become a champion."
Now, here's the odd thing here is, okay, like I could see it if you didn't have to, your typical wait time between fights is going to be 3 months.
Yep.
And they're saying no less than 3 a year. So that makes sense. That figures out.
Cool.
Too. But if you want to build up, like, let's just say you're going to do the playoffs, like he says, and you're going to you got 7 people in each weight division. So you're going to take the top 4 for your tournament bracket.
So basically, it's like they're taking Bellator's original fucking idea, which was tournaments. Which they decided,
that really Bellator's original idea?
We'll take
how far
most
back
recently.
does this
How about
go?
most recently?
Okay,
most recently, Bellator did tournaments, right? They did a whole season.
Because we can take it all the way back to Athens.
So let's go. Season 1. Season 1 was a tournament for middleweights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Season 2 was
all your Christians in this bracket and all the Lions in this bracket.
The tournament for
a couple scientists.
Welterweights.
Can't have them living.
Can't have them either.
Bellator tried this just recently, and the minute Scott Coker got involved, was like, no, fucking tournaments don't work. Get it out.
Well, that's what my question is like, if you're only guaranteeing 3 fights a year per person, it's going to take a while for them to get like enough fights for there to be a record to be like, okay, so we're taking the top 4 in this division, because all you can get is 1-2, 2-1, and 3-0, and 0-3.
And that's something I don't understand is who decided that tournament thing wasn't working? Because if you ask everybody, everybody's like, we need to go back to Pride. Who got rid of the yellow card? Who just decided that? It wasn't the fighters. It wasn't the fans.
That was something that only was done in Pride. I mean, they never did it in the UFC. It was never something they wanted to adapt.
But the Grand Prix never took place in one night, right?
No, the Grand Prix was over a couple months. It was always over a couple months. And in fact, Ryzen is still doing Grand Prix. We'll get to that here in a little bit and some stories that are coming up. But I mean, I don't get it. I mean, apparently, like I said, it's going to be Ted Leonastis, who's the owner of the Washington Capitals. He also is an owner of the Washington Wizards and the Washington Nationals. Other investors, you got guys from esports. Riot Games and the Los Angeles Dodgers chief financial officer Tucker Kane. I don't know. I just their format seems a little odd to me, and claiming they're the only mixed martial arts league when they're not really a league. I mean,
well, they're not anything yet.
Yeah, nothing yet. It's going to start January of 2018.
Yeah, like we were saying before, if it's going to be truly a league, then it should be
like the AFL.
Yeah, like you said, like the AFL, or even like let's do whole cities where like LA brings their best 125 or 135 or 140. You know what I mean? You bring a whole team. Maybe you bring two of every.
Now you're making the Warriors come true.
That'd be pretty sweet. I'm down with that.
No, but I mean, just think about
the fucking initials. Warriors Series Fight League, like W. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
World Series of Fighting.
You know what I mean? You're guaranteeing these gyms are each city. What, 28 fighters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two people from each weight division, men and women, right?
I'm not doing the math right now.
All right.
We're science guy. Science guy. Don't you know math too?
No, that's math.
Do they have equal weight divisions in women's and men's?
No.
Okay, so it's not exactly.
Not yet.
But yeah, sure. 28.
I'm just making up numbers.
Is there 14 weight divisions?
There is now.
Close enough.
So how long we take? How many bets we taking on before this league folds?
I'm not going to say nothing negative about it. I think we need to let something happen because the UFC
Affliction
is
had
turned
3
into
events.
a fucking circus. Bellator is a fucking circus. I want someone who's really going to put forth, let fighters fight based on how they fight.
We already have that. It's called King of the Cage.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a quick one.
I'm not going to argue. King of the
right,
Cage
so-
is, you know what I mean?
So okay, we can do it over.
Putting the best local fighters together. I mean, that's what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they're good enough, they go to other leagues.
Yeah.
All right, so we can do it over under Affliction was 3 events.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't even have to say, no, I'm not even say that. I'm not even saying if they're better. If they can draw more money, other leagues will pick them up. Because I will tell you this, in our own Tachi Palace.
Apparently, though, just put this out there, their NBC contract is about to expire and it has not been renewed. So they don't have any platform of viewership right now.
World Series of Fighting.
Correct. Well,
Okay,
which is now
not,
PFL.
Not King of the Cage.
No. Yeah. World
Yeah.
Series. Their NBC contract is up and they don't know if it's going to be renewed.
So let's go. If Affliction made it, they made it 3 events?
No, the last one got
Yeah. So
But see, this is the difference. Affliction got bought. Mm-hmm. This is not going to get bought.
I don't
this
think
is
they
just
got
going to
bought.
fall
no, they
off.
folded.
They just folded.
No, I
they
thought
just-
Strikeforce bought Affliction out.
No, they just stopped doing fights.
Okay.
Then they bought the Affliction brand, right?
They bought the fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
What? You guys can't pick and choose.
There's two
They
different
bought
things.
Affliction.
They didn't buy the fights.
They bought Affliction.
Fine, they bought
They bought
Affliction.
Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Whatever.
they bought it.
I'm going 0.
You know how I know that one was never going to make it? Donald Trump was a major shareholder.
Was he really?
Yeah.
In Affliction?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's hilarious. Our president, ladies and gentlemen.
Any
Did he hedge fund
sports he
against
does
it?
doesn't do well.
I think he leverages against it.
Wasn't he-
Buys insurance and then
Wasn't he part of the
rises to the ground.
UFL, right?
I think that's what he did with the United
The
States.
XFL?
Yeah, no, the UFL.
Well, I mean, he's good buddies with Vince. And the
That's
XFL
true.
didn't do well. All right. I'm going with 0 events.
Wow, 0.
Yeah.
I'll give him a year.
So you're thinking 3 events?
I don't know.
You don't even think it'll pick up, huh?
No. I don't think they reopen the doors. But I also said Ronda Rousey wouldn't come back, and she did. I also said CM Punk wouldn't fight, and he did. So I'm gonna.
Neither of those were really good, though.
But it happened.
But I'm gonna.
He made $1 million.
They came back in spirit.
They came back in spirit. So I'm gonna keep my streak going here and say it's not gonna happen.
Not going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
I'll give him a year before they. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what happened with Pro Elite? Didn't they have 3 events too, or 4 events?
Shit, I don't remember Pro Elite.
They bought like everything. They didn't have that many.
Remember shock fights? That was fun.
I think with everything that's been happening with MMA, if they do come out, I think it lasts longer than a year because
Pro Elite had 3 fights.
because they'll know what they have to do to make it work now. You know, as to where before when people were trying to get things started, they were just trying to throw things together.
That's weird to me.
Shark fights. I just see either like
They had tasers.
referee with like a.
They had
The
tasers in
tasers
gloves.
on the back of their
Did they really?
gloves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
It's a real thing.
The other thing I had in mind was this, and just like
Shocker fights?
Oh, shocker fights.
Yeah. No fists. You can only hit like this.
African Scissor Club?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Real thing.
The other thing
Whoa.
I had in mind was this.
What'd you do?
It's like,
We're getting echo.
Oh,
Echo.
holy shit.
Technical difficulties. We don't know what the
That
fuck
was
we're
I
doing.
crazy.
think we just hit 83 miles an hour.
We're in the future.
That was like 63 gigawatts.
That's 88 miles an hour.
88, sorry. No,
So-
well, we were just getting there.
So shark fights. You remember shark fights?
Shark fights. as
Shark
well.
fights had some decent things. They had 21 events. Spanned 2 years, 3 years.
That's not bad. I'm still going 0.
I think.
Are you just going to keep pushing until he says one?
No, I don't say what Dennis. Anything? You're saying that, how long? They're just gonna keep going forever?
If they do actually get a fight going, I say they last 2 to 3 years.
Okay,
At least.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah,
Nobody will even fight Ben Askren in that
he's in one.
organization. Is he in one?
He's in
No,
one.
well, nobody will fight him in one either.
We'll
I,
get to-
I think it's hard to go. I think it's hard to go over there and fight.
over to one.
Yeah.
I'm reading about the future of Obamacare and how my coverage may be affected.
It's possible. Thanks, ads. Dana White recently came out and was talking about the whole Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather thing again. He says, I think the fight happens if the fight sells. I think Floyd will make a little north of $100 million. Conor will make about $75 million. Mayweather feels like he's the A side of it. Should we get more? He's like, I haven't gotten into negotiations yet. I got to lock down Conor first. He's under contract with me. At the end of the day, does this fight make sense to me? No. But Conor wants to do this thing really bad, and I've said it multiple times. The kid stepped up and saved big fights for me, so I guess I'm in. I'll figure it out. Obviously, it's in boxing. You got to negotiate things like gloves, officials, judges, how big the ring is. There's a lot of things to negotiate. I haven't even gotten in the room with Mayweather yet. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe the other side can't be done. We'll see. Conor McGregor then immediately puts on Instagram a picture of him wearing glasses and holding money, saying that, happy Thursday, everyone. How's that $75 million make your stomach feel? In actuality, it's $100 million if we go to non-conservative numbers. The fight will actually do, not including my endorsements and other business ventures. And then also goes on to say, I'm 28 years of age. Fresh cunts doubt me now. As well as how he is... did a little video of him boxing, saying that he is he can't wait to have his son and build him up in a multiple free fighting world champion like me. I look forward to it.
Defend a belt.
That's
Shut
what I
the
would like
fuck
to
up.
see first.
Defend a belt.
Like I said, I was saying before the show, I was surprised he defeated Eddie Alvarez. I was genuinely shocked. All the rest of his fights, I was not really that impressed with. They are great fights to watch, I guess, but the pedigree and the names that he fought to me weren't that impressive. Other than the shocker of, I guess, Jose Aldo, where he stunned him.
Yeah.
Why didn't you give Jose Aldo his rematch?
Well, yeah, like
Why haven't you fought some other fighters? You know what I mean? That would give you a chance.
the Aldo fight, the Alvarez fight. I mean,
Yeah. So there's a lot of fights that he should have been fighting to really get to where he's at. He hasn't defended a belt yet anywhere.
He's had 4 belts that he's earned. I'm not going to say he didn't earn them.
He has
He
earned.
did earn them, but he hasn't defended a single one.
Hasn't defended any of them.
So defend a belt or shut the fuck up.
yeah, I can
His
see
recent training partner, Gunnar Nelson, has said he doesn't think Conor's coming back to MMA at all. That he's just going to do this Mayweather fight and then he will be done, take all his money and retire.
And he was just listed as one of people's most
Influential people.
100 most influential people.
Yep.
I mean, whatever. Good for him. The guy made a brand. The guy made some serious cash. I can't knock him for that. But when it comes to the actual sport, the reason that we do this, defend your fucking belt. You beating Mayweather doesn't do anything for me. It does absolutely nothing for me.
Even fighting Mayweather doesn't do anything for me.
That's what I meant. Fighting Mayweather does nothing.
Yeah, because he's not going to be remembered as the greatest fighter. He's not. Even at this point, he's not. I don't know how people consider him the greatest fighter. Does he sell himself
Most
well?
marketable fighter?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Made the most money in a short period of time?
Did he do that? Did he do that? Or has this all been a setup all the way in here? I've been listening to Eddie Bravo, man.
Chemtrails.
This whole thing was set up.
It's entirely possible.
I heard they went as far as to say like Ronda Rousey doesn't even know how to fight. That's just how set up it was.
Well, you look at The Rock, man. The Rock showed up on WWE when it was WWF in the Nation of Domination as somebody in the background. He was nobody. And then all of a sudden he went to personality school, became The Rock, and now he's...
pec implants, calf implants.
Tattoo implants.
Chemtrails in his butt. And now he's the most...
That really happened?
Yeah, it totally happened.
Totally happened.
Now he's like the most expensive actor on the planet, you know? And
doing fucking Disney movies.
She's doing
Like a
everything.
champ.
Doing everything. There's nothing The Rock can't do. You could have The Rock show up right now and ask him. You can say, "Hey, cook me some saffron chicken." He might not even know how to make some saffron chicken. It'll be done. It'll be the best fucking saffron chicken you've ever had in your life.
And he'll do it in a Pikachu suit.
Yep, and he will do it in a Pikachu suit, and you'll just be amazed the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
Interesting place to go with that.
Just saying, maybe Conor McGregor studied The Rock.
UFC welterweight
They're gonna be making
Michael
saffron chicken. I don't know. I have no idea. It's gonna happen.
Michael Graves has been released from the UFC due to a domestic violence incident that happened in October. He has been removed following his arrest in Fulton County, Florida, as a potential violation of the UFC fighter conduct policy.
No training on women.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to put it. It's not domestic violence. It's training with a woman. So does this mean? Here's my question. Does this mean?
Chris Brown's the heavyweight champion?
No doubt.
I think he's more like a lightweight.
A lightweight, okay.
All right. So the question here: do they have evidence to dismiss
He
him?
has been convicted.
He's been convicted. Okay,
Yeah.
Because I was looking at stuff and like Anthony Rumble Johnson. There were rumors about him. Obviously, there's been rumors about Travis Brown. Neither one of them got dismissed from the UFC, but also neither one of them got convicted. You know, the charges were alleged type stuff.
Alleges, yeah. Let's see. We have fiance told police that he punched and elbowed her in the head.
He was having a weird dream.
And she could still tell people he didn't do it very well.
But mind you, it's misdemeanor charges. So he has been arrested.
No, I'm
His
not
jail
saying
was
I'm not
$5,000
condoning
bond.
it. But if she was still able to tell people about it, it's wrong.
But you're right.
I'm not okay. It's horrible. I can't believe how does a grown man beat on a woman?
With his fists and
Apparently.
elbows. usually.
apparently.
That's how
Pound and pound.
that's how he did it. I'm not saying.
Would you say he took her to Pound Town?
I would say he took her to Pound Town.
In a bad way.
In a bad way.
Yeah.
Some more
That's
positive
a horrible.
news.
We're not joking about domestic violence at all.
Tim Kennedy.
When you point it out, it's worse.
Tim Kennedy has decided to re-enlist and go back to active duty. He said, I've got hope again. The military, we got our teeth back. We dropped the biggest bomb, 11 tons of TAT. Essentially goes into destroying everything in a mile radius. We have Secretary of Defense James Mattis. We have National Security Advisor McMaster. He's like, we've been reinvigorated, hopeful, beautiful military that is proud to be back on the team. He's like, so I am ready to go. He is basically going back. He is a Ranger qualified Green Beret and decorated combat veteran who's won the Bronze Star for Valor Under Fire. He has now decided to go back to active duty.
He's got a bounty on his head from ISIS.
Hey, so you think when Russia drops the FOAB? Yeah, they're going to drop the FOAB. You think Crow Cop re-enlists?
He's from Croatia.
Oh, yeah. Didn't the Russians take that back over?
It's not the same thing. Dennis.
So it's going to be...
I'm not a reliable source. I'm not.
No, he's too busy working in Croatian's parliament.
He also said he has a personal message for
Is
ISIS.
that his real arms?
Yeah.
He looks like an action figure.
Yeah. He's got a message. Dear ISIS, if you're lucky enough to kill a special forces operator, the possibility of us dropping the biggest non-nuclear bomb ever made on you should be the least of your concerns. There is vengeance and wrath associated with the loss of one of our brothers. May God have mercy on your soul, because we are coming and we will have none to give. Sincerely, the U.S.
Photoshopped
military.
that picture.
No, that's him.
There's no way. He's never come into the ring looking like that.
It's actually a pretty solid point.
He's just...
It's good filters. It's a Snapchat filter.
That's not Snapchat. It's Instagram.
It's an Instagram Snapchat filter.
I don't even think those are veins. I think they superimposed a map to let him know where he's going. Like 24.
It was Prison Break, the first episode.
Those are all the tunnels.
Damn, Tim Kennedy. Get some body fat.
Going over to some Japanese MMA news, or at least over in that side of the country or side of the world. You got one championship has announced its return to Singapore Indoor Stadium with one Dynasty of Heroes. Friday, May 26th. You're going to have their women's atomweight world champion, Unstoppable Angeli, is going to be defending her title against Estela Nunes of Brazil, as well as champion Ben Funky Askren will be defending his title against the Alligator Thani.
All right.
You excited?
I'm super excited.
I'm excited to see Angeli fight again. She's awesome. I don't give
I
a shit.
didn't get a nap today, so I can't
I'm
wait to watch
so
Ben Askren fight.
excited. I just can't hide it.
Also going down again in that side of the world, we have Ryzen has announced that they will do not one, but 2 Grand Prix tournaments this year. One will be a 16-man bantamweight Grand Prix. Horiguchi, Takoro, and Yamamoto have all signed.
Oh, this is what
that.
I sent you, huh?
This is what you sent me now, and this is the other one I was talking to you about. We will have a female atomweight Grand Prix.
So they're fighting for 61 kilos?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yes, they're fighting for their weight.
The women get what, 11 kilos less?
They don't,
Yeah,
need,
11
they don't need a
kilos.
lot. They don't need a
And
lot.
this is some of the weirdest things I've seen.
Are you still doing? Okay, this is still Pride.
This is still, well, Ryzen, yes.
Ryzen.
This is apparently the leaked poster for the Grand Prix.
That's Josh's next metal album cover.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Called Fight Rock
I
Festival.
want a fucking shirt like that.
Yeah, I do too. We don't know if this is like for real, but being Japanese MMA, it does not fucking surprise me.
Heavy metal.
We'll say
That's
it right
what it looks
now.
like. That looks like the cartoon art from Heavy Metal. The cartoon.
Wow.
I used to sneak to watch that show. I put it in the VHS when my parents were sleeping.
Yeah.
Watch some heavy metal. Yeah.
Hey man, line up through the Nyborg, bro.
Come forth and lather my daughter's rocking tits.
This is going down July 30th. We have no fights. No fights announced, but we do have a poster.
Isn't this the one that Jazzy's on?
Yeah, which one's her?
I don't know if I'm not on the poster, but I thought Jazzy just signed a fight.
That's not her with the big chain?
I don't know. Maybe. This one right
that's
here.
Fucking, he's Super Saiyan. He's Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I don't know, because this kind of looks like Akuma. Like a rockin' version. I think that might be Dulcim. I don't know.
Dude, the guy with the bat mask or whatever?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
This whole thing is pretty crazy. We'll post that definitely on Facebook here before we leave.
She's got horns, you can grab onto them.
Yeah,
I just-
you got to see.
She's got fangs. She can grab onto you.
But her face has got a face.
Her face has got a face!
While she's down there, get a free Prince Albert, alright?
Woo!
So you didn't see anything about the fight
There's
that Jazzy
nothing
signed?
free about a Prince Albert.
She has signed a fight, but it's not. They're gonna give. It's not with who everyone wanted her to fight. She's not gonna be fighting Gabby yet. She has a pre-fight first, and then she'll be fighting.
Yeah, they
Gabby
got
afterwards.
They got to have video to watch for Gabby to prepare to get her ass beat.
Well, I mean, Gabby's got a really questionable chin.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
not only that, but I think this girl could actually grapple her.
Jazzy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Big girl.
she's a big girl, but you got a 13-time jiu-jitsu champion, world jiu-jitsu champion.
has
Yeah,
lost
but
to somebody
Gabby can
who's
bring
like,
in
what,
that street shit.
40 pounds less.
Yeah,
than
but
her.
I looked into that. Apparently, she lost by that point because they deducted a point from Gabby, and then Leslie just stalled her out.
All right.
I mean, granted, you shouldn't be able to stall somebody out who's that much bigger than you.
Right.
But it was a point deduction on Gabby's part.
All right. We have
Push the microphone,
yeah,
man.
push
What
the
did I do to you?
Getting so mad.
Alaquenta is going to be fighting this weekend. We will talk about that going up against Diego Sanchez. He said he is not going to make this fight of the night because he wants to have a clean, smooth, intelligent fight against Diego Sanchez. A lot of guys get pulled out of their game plan. This will be his first fight in 2 years after some injuries and, of course, the dissatisfaction with his contract, although he now says there's nowhere else he would rather be fighting than in the octagon.
Well, all right.
So apparently he's worked things out with the UFC, although last week we had the story where he said he hasn't, so I don't really know what's going on with Alaquenta.
More money.
Possibly?
To give him, yeah,
You hear anything? Any rumors?
they gave him some shut up money.
Miguel Torres has decided to retire
I saw that.
officially from MMA.
When was the last time he even fought? Like, I'm surprised this is a thing.
This is the thing. He's retiring at 36.
Was he eyeballing a comeback?
Not that I know of.
I think I looked into some of this because, like you guys said, it just kind of came out of nowhere. I think it's coming from a
He
medical.
fought last year in September.
I know, but I think it's
I'm
coming from
surprised.
Some small things.
I think it's coming from a medical issue because I think he was trying to come back or he was on the way to come back, and I think that they have to get checked out before they can start camp. Mm-hmm. And I think he might have been told, maybe. I don't know. Again, I'm not a credible source.
Incredible source.
Incredible source.
So he has decided to retire. So, I mean, what an amazing record, though. I mean, this guy's been fighting forever. 44-9, he's retiring.
We just talked about him last week and how the super fight in the WEC was always going to be Miguel Torres and Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
Which never happened, but it would have been awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he had some great fights. He had a great career. Allegedly, he had more fights than were on his original record. His professional record is 44-9. He says he's been fighting for, I don't know how long. They said he had something over 500 fights
Fucking
or something
Hickson
like that.
by armbar?
Yeah, Hickson by armbar style right there.
All right.
Then we have this. John Jones and Daniel Cormier 2 will be happening UFC 214. As reported by Ariel Helwani, he has been given the official news July 29th. This is after they said Jim Manawa was being given the opportunity to fight because John Jones wasn't ready. DC signed that contract, said he was fine.
Okay.
They then pulled that because obviously this will be a more lucrative fight with John Jones coming back.
All about the money.
Yep.
Bullshit.
It's pretty interesting. In a strange twist, UFC President Dana White was on Wednesday's appearance of Colin Cowherd's The Herd, said his next fight will not be the main event. So is this going to be the co-main event for a card?
Well, he said he wouldn't let Jones be a main event anymore after everything that's gone down.
But yet we're going to have this fight.
Yeah, we're going to have
So it's going to be a co-main event.
with Conor McGregor.
You think that's going to be your main event?
I don't know.
For July?
No.
Ty Woodley.
Against who?
Ty Woodley against McGregor.
McGregor's not fighting in MMA again.
No, see, all these stories don't go together.
No, they don't.
Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. Unless Dana White says it, it's not true. This is some weird news happening right here. This is multiple credible reports have said that the Korean police are investigating an attempt to fix a fight at the fight we just had, UFC Fight Night 79 in Seoul, South Korea. Lightweight Tai Hun Bang allegedly accepted $90,000 from criminal gambling interests to lose 2 rounds to Leo Kuntz, who was unaware of the entire plot. The UFC allegedly noticed an unprecedented shift in betting lines toward Bang losing, interviewed both fighters. This apparently spooked Bang, decided to fight for real, ends up winning a split decision. Bad news for him is he never told the creditors how much, and they lost $2 million in the failed fix and were upset. In fear of retribution, he went to the police. Everything is under investigation. There has been no public word from Bang. Coots is the only one who's come out and said he has confirmed that UFC officials have spoken with him.
And if you go look at their betting line, it's really crazy because they bet, I think the denomination is won.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's like 20 million won they were betting these people, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even though it's $2 million altogether. But I remember when all these all this stuff was going on Twitter, where the people were like, "Did you just see the line change on this?"
Yeah,
the guy went from being favored to being an underdog. It's like this is the biggest shift ever that I've ever seen. I'm not saying that you should get in on it, but I'm just saying this is the biggest shift I've ever seen.
He said, this is, of course, Kuntz, who was his opponent. He says, to me, he was not fighting like somebody who was fighting to lose. Everything I've gathered, apparently, he got scared by the UFC when the UFC came to talk to him. He panicked, decided not to throw the fight, and he came out to the police about what had happened because he was fearing for his life and his safety. Everything is under investigation. He was afraid more of the UFC than the mobsters he's associated with. I don't even think he realized he had won the fight until it was over. He said there's video footage of him where they announced that he had won and his hands get held up and he is shocked. Pretty crazy now. Kuntz is now fighting for Korea's Road FC and be a part of the 16-man lightweight tournament. This whole thing is nuts. This is one of the craziest stories I've seen about MMA betting in a long time.
It's one of the side stories of Snatch.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
All bets are off.
You just don't bang cunts for money.
Whoa, that's quick.
Coots.
That's a good one.
I mean, I would, but whatever.
It doesn't pay.
And then last little bit of news here before we get into the recaps. We have, according to TMZ, they were asking Ronda Rousey about this new little ring she's got going on. And she basically said, go ahead and break the news that her and Travis Brown are engaged.
So he popped the question.
Popped the question in New Zealand while they were under a waterfall.
Oh.
She says, I don't know what goes into planning a wedding. It could be easy. I don't really want a lot. I don't need decorations. I don't need flowers. I just need to go somewhere to eat and have people around.
No, we need them to get married in the octagon.
He was like, Ronda, you get knocked out. No, wait. You're a knockout. I love you.
I don't think it's what Travis Brown sounds like.
And then she said yes and put her finger out and he missed 4 times. He finally got it on there.
So now it is widely believed Ronda is totally done with fighting. This further puts it into
a little bobcat there for a second. It didn't go, and I was like, oh.
Do you think Ronda's done fighting? Now she's getting married?
Oh, why does that make a difference?
They're saying this is one of the reasons why I'd point to her being done fighting.
Married women are way better fighters.
She'll never lose now.
Yeah. Even when they lose, they win.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Also, in dating rumors, there's a couple websites that have broken the news that Misha Tate is dating Mickey Gall. They've been spotted together at events.
Spotted together at multiple events, including the big one that was in London. Twitter took off with this one. That was pretty funny. They photoshopped it to say that they were in Pornhub together.
Oh yeah,
Because I guess there's quite an age difference.
MMA funny.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an age difference. But I mean, Misha Tate, we talked about this, that you had your chance because there was rumors that she had broken up with Brian Caraway, and then she was
How
like,
did she let Caraway get away?
It's not true.
But that's the thing.
We're still working things out. Who gets the house and the RV? Didn't they move? They were in an RV. They moved to Vegas. They bought a house together, and then they bought another RV.
That's the thing.
Who gets it all? Probably her, right?
I mean, what? Caraway's like a man nickel.
Yeah.
He's a manacle.
He's not a dime.
He's a manacle.
It's not a dime piece.
And then when I tried to swoop in there, I tried to slide in on the DMs. I found out that
She blocked you.
she deleted me on Facebook. So.
When are you three starting that romance novel group? When is that starting?
As soon it's going to be called.
Sure.
It's going to be called 3 Shades of Grey.
I'm waiting.
I'm going to add a little testosterone into all this, and I'll show you the chemical exchange of what's going on and exactly what happens.
I mean, good for Mickey Gall.
Yeah.
Hey, how do we know? Maybe he's good for Misha Tate too.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm just sad for you because
I know I'm bummed out.
she blocked you and took Mickey Gall over you.
That's a huge win for you, Misha. Trust me on that one. We're gonna jump into results here.
Yeah, one last little thing here is we have that Jake Shields recently seen training with GSP and preps for Michael Bisping.
People are all pissed off.
People
about
pissed
this.
off saying that he is betraying Nick and Nate Diaz because obviously Nick Diaz has beef with GSP. Jake Shields responded he doesn't think that Nick Diaz will ever fight GSP again, so everything's good. If it was, he would immediately stop training. He is going to be loyal to his partners. But obviously, we talked to a couple people that GSP pays money for people to come train with him.
Yeah.
He usually trains with the best in the world, and if he thinks you have something to offer him, he's going to have you come. He's going to pay you to come work in his training camp. Not only that, but Jake Shields is going to be in a grappling tournament against somebody that GSP has trained with.
Submission Underground.
He's Submission Underground,
Okay.
so it's a win-win for both competitors here. Of course, you got Donner there with his crazy cane.
Jake is going to fight the cat from McGregor's.
Yeah, which GSP has trained with before.
the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy.
Yeah, so that's why, again, that's
Danny,
why it's
bitch face or whatever. The guy who wants all that money has never fought in MMA.
Bitch face.
Whatever.
That's his name now. Fuck it, doesn't matter.
I'm serious. I'm not a credible source.
I don't think
from now on, we see Danny up on the fucking screen.
I don't think it's a big deal. Again, they're not going to fight again. They're not doing anything else.
Okay.
So we're going into recaps here. We had a local fight, right?
Yeah, cage-bound fighting.
Cage-bound fighting.
With Rich Trace, who's been on the show before. He got the cruiserweight belt last time he was on the show. He'd won with knockout of the night, and apparently
Bulked up to get heavyweight.
now he's heavyweight, and he got knockout of the night up against
Again.
James Gilly. TKO round 1, minute 10.
I watched this fight.
Gilly screwed up. Gilly tried to take him to the ground. Thought that was going to help him.
No, and
even on the
Rich's
ground-
jiu-jitsu and wrestling's pretty
Well,
decent.
it wasn't jiu-jitsu. It was just
Well.
these big-ass meat hooks. He was smacking him in the face, and then it was over.
Rich did get caught pretty good, though, right in the
Oh,
beginning.
yeah. He got him down.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Rich. Thanks for being on the show. Come back, bring both your belts.
Yeah,
I'm
put 'em
sure
both
right now.
here.
Right now, I'm in talks with both of them. They both want to come on. Mickey Gilly doesn't know if he'll be able to come in live, but he'll probably do it over the phone.
Cool.
And then the other guy,
James Gilly, the guy he beat,
yeah. And then
he doesn't know if he can come in and do it live. Does he know how to tie his shoes?
Not after Rich got done with
After
him.
Rich got done with them? I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah,
James.
and then Anthony
Just fucking with
Howard.
you.
Anthony Howard, I think he's out of MMA Oakdale, isn't he?
Oakdale MMA.
Yeah, he beat Freddie Mendez, and he takes his belt. So
Cool. When's the next Cage-Bound Fighting Championship fight? Do we know? Have they announced anything?
It's happening right now behind the scenes.
yeah. Something's going on. I would put my money behind his Matic, but we'll see what's happening.
So we might have a new organization starting up.
Could possibly. We don't know.
Or possibly a buyout.
We could also see mending bridges too.
Like I said, or possible buyout.
Yeah.
Okay,
Something.
that's cool. Ultimate Fighter Season 25 started this
Premiered this
weekend.
week,
Did you
yeah.
watch it?
No, I forgot.
Did you watch it?
I watched the GIFs.
Yeah, I kind of watched recaps of it. I was out of town, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. But it's pretty interesting. Obviously, like I said, we have all the guys coming in from the show that have already been on this different seasons. James Krause being the only guy who's never been to the Ultimate Fighter house. He is a current UFC fighter under contract, so that's a little strange. I don't know why he's
Awkward.
there. Julian Lane was the Let Me Bang Bro. He was there. We had lots of clips of him and his emotional breakdowns. Basically, UFC President Dana White comes in and says that, the winner of the title show is going to take $250,000. We're gonna have some bonus fights. You know, you can kind of come back, redemption fights. You have
Is
your
it up
coaches.
to $250,000 now?
Yeah,
Wow.
if you win the show, and if you the winner of each fight will pocket $10,000, and the finished fights will get an extra $5,000.
For reference, when this thing started up, Tough Season 1, it was you got a 6-figure contract, which we learned after everything was said and done.
Right.
It was it was 3 years.
3 years,
So it was
6 figures.
$33,000 a year basically was what you were getting.
Yeah.
With it when you won that.
Right.
But that was also back when you could have sponsors, so they were making more money in the back end too.
Yeah, but now aren't we seeing? We're seeing at least 5 to 8 guys getting contracts. Really, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you make it out of the first round and into the second, then you're not automatically, but likely to be on the finale.
Right.
And if you make it on the finale and win, you're probably gonna get a contract.
So we have our teams. Dillashaw won the coin toss, chooses the first fighter. He chooses James Krause. He then picks Jesse Taylor, Ramsey Nijim, Diego Lima, Joe Stevenson, Tom Galicchio, and Gilbert Smith. Pretty solid team.
That is a
I feel
solid team.
old watching.
Pretty solid team.
I feel
Garbrandt,
old with Joe Stevenson going in for the second time.
Cody Garbrandt gets Seth Pazinski,
on
Mendy
season
Baghdad, Eddie Gordon, Hector Urbina, Hader Hassan, Justin Edwards. Like I said, I feel like Dillashaw's team's a little more stacked as far as how about like seasoned veterans experience?
Yeah, definitely experience-wise.
Some of the guys in there.
But maybe that's why Garbrandt went with the younger guys.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah, that way there's less stuff that he's got to break them from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have the bad habits.
Because with these guys all being seasoned veterans, having to listen to TJ Dillashaw might be an issue for some of them.
Very true. So we have
Maybe that's why Garbrandt choked him out real quick, so that people on his team think I'm not fucking around. You see what I did to him? I'll do it to you behind closed doors.
Could be.
Could be.
There's no closed doors in that house, man.
no, they're all hollow doors. You
Yeah.
should knock them all down.
Rampage.
We have Urbina has struggled to cut weight during this whole thing. He was not able to make the welterweight limit.
Is that why they picked him for the first fight? Because they knew he couldn't make weight?
I don't know. Immediately he is sent home. He tried to plead his case. It was not happening. So Johnny Nunes is going to go up against now James Krause. And this is what we're going to have go on. So then you have your fight. Your fight was, who do we have? I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I don't
I
know.
know Pazinski. Seth Pazinski against Gilbert Smith.
Oh, okay.
So and then of course your winner of that, as expected, ended up being Gilbert Smith. They have some trash talk. Obviously, we have what's going to be going on the whole season. We're going to have the choke. The gift has been playing now since before the season was announced, or like pretty much right as the season was announced.
I can't believe that happened in the first episode, man. That really kind of sets a weird tone for the rest of the season.
It's going to be interesting. Galicchio is going to be fighting Gordon. It's going to be an interesting season. Again, the whole redemption thing, I like that they come back with some different concepts for the show. I mean, you got to keep the show interesting. We're kind of running out of ideas. I mean, we like the champions thing. That was different. That was new. I like bringing in a lot of new blood, a lot of guys. The thing that I hate about that last season that we talked to even Tim Elliott about was that none of those guys got contracts.
Right.
Like, we haven't seen any of those guys fight again. And some of those guys were really good.
And I liked when we had the American Top Team versus the Black Zillions.
It was an interesting concept, a little IFL-ish.
Yeah.
But very, very interesting.
So instead of just finding a formula that works and sticking with it, they're just going to keep fucking changing it up.
Keep changing it up. You want to go into the Bellator first or the UFC first?
Bellator happened first, so.
Bellator happened first. Let's jump into that first. You had Eduardo Dantes defeat Leandro Higo in a split decision. Daniel Welch over John Texera.
And another split decision.
Another split decision. You also had some kickboxing go on. Kareem Gajan over Zoltan Lasik, defeating the champion and becoming the new champion in a split decision.
I gotta tell you, dude, I love that idea of having a sign right here. How many days since we butchered someone's name?
It would never
And
change.
we just leave it at a permanent 0.
Joe Schilling, though, man.
Just how many minutes?
Yeah, that's what it could be.
Okay.
Minutes, and then Josh could just reset it.
Just hit a
every
button.
time.
It starts to go. Starts.
We're gonna do it.
I'd fuck up our names in the beginning of the episode.
It's possible, yeah. And then we had UFC on Fox. What is this? 24? Hey, I was right. 24.
Hey!
UFC on Fox 24 with where you want to start?
We can start. Let's go ahead with
Prelims?
Aljamain Sterling.
Aljamain Sterling.
Gets a win over Augusto Mendez.
All right.
That was on Fight Pass. Then you jump onto the main card with Tim Elliott getting a win over Louis Smolka, unanimous decision. And then Rashid Magomedov over Bobby Green, split
Damn,
decision.
Bobby.
Man.
It hurts, Bobby.
You think this is it?
Nah.
No?
Give one more.
Give him one more. Yeah.
Okay.
Tom DeQuestnoy over Patrick Williams. This was a TKO elbow and punch in the second round, 28 seconds. Alexander Volkov over Roy Nelson with a unanimous decision.
There were a lot of people I don't know how, said that Roy had this.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see
Roy
it
didn't
either.
even look like he wanted to be there. That whole statement he said where he's like, I like MMA, but I don't like fighting. It looked like it.
It looked like
It looked like it.
bummer. And then Renato Mociano over Jeremy Little Heath and Stevens with a split
Again,
decision.
man, I thought Stevens had this fight.
Who the fuck is this guy?
This guy. And then fucking Robert Whitaker on a 4-fight win streak now gets a TKO head kick and punches win over Jacare.
They were saying some people felt this fight was stopped too early. How do you feel?
Stop it. Whitaker was going to kick his ass.
I thought
All right.
it looked like
It's crazy.
Jacare was in trouble. I didn't want him to stop it, being a big
Of
Jacare
course.
fan, but I was just like, fuck, he's got to stop.
I did not see Whitaker coming at him like this at all.
No, not in any way, shape, or form. But Whitaker now, who's he eyeing next? Rockhold, and then he wants the belt.
Yeah.
Rose Namajunas gets a big win over Michelle Watterson. Wow, Rose, good job.
So I ate micro in a pie. I put micro with a lot of mincemeat.
Micro?
Yeah, micro.
She hit her good with that head kick, which started the bleeding,
Yeah.
and she just choked it out of her.
Michelle
You
Watterson.
just see, I saw the gif of it just like squirting every time as it was going. You could see her will to live just slowly shrinking away.
What's her old man's name?
Who? Rose?
Rose.
Big old Pat
Barry.
Pat Barry, yeah.
Dude,
I love him.
A couple days ago, she was on Ariel Helwani's show, and she's talking. And then Pat Barry's big head comes out, and he's like, it was pure MMA. Pure MMA. Not this, not that. He goes, it was everything. And just his big head in front of the camera, you know, 'cause, you know, they do the interviews. But he's right. I mean, they used
Showcased everything.
Yeah, they used everything that they could. And Watterson had that karate, and it just didn't make a difference this time.
Nope.
You know?
And we've been talking about, I mean, Thug Rose from the show, she had pretty good stand-up. Her Muay Thai was good. Her kickboxing is great. She trains up there with Duke Rufus, who's a kickboxing champion.
I just thought,
How did Paige survive so long with her?
I think it just kind of stunned her. I think that's really what it came down to.
and Michelle Watterson posted a picture on the plane going home with 2 black eyes,
Yeah.
ready to move
Was
forward.
she flying United?
Actually, yes.
Those flights are cheap right now. I'm saying,
Yeah, because I'm not flying United unless they'll fly me somewhere cheaper than everybody else.
they will.
In that case,
In that case, I'm flying United.
yeah.
And Demetrius Johnson.
Hey, you might even be able to get free training on the plane.
Hey, I'm a whore. You know, just let me save some money. And
He is.
yeah, 100%.
Demetrius Johnson proving he is
Just the greatest.
greatest of all time right now. I mean, greatest of all time.
Like
MMA
he
fighter.
said, I submitted a black belt. I've never even done like a no-gi black belt tournament ever.
Submitted Wilson Rice. Wilson Rice didn't know what happened.
No.
He looked
He even-
almost as defeated
He even said
as Aldo.
He said-
I don't think he went backstage and cried, but he was like personally defeated.
He even said, he goes, he's the toughest guy I've ever fought in my entire life.
I guarantee he didn't think it was gonna be a submission.
No, he said that hands down. He's like, that's what makes it harder is that
Yeah.
I am a black belt. He is not, and he submitted me.
Well, he wore you down. That's what he did.
That's what he always does.
Yeah, he wears you down. He got you at the very end of the 3rd round. I mean,
mean,
he
he's-
takes your will to live. Like
is
you went
now-
in there as a black belt, and then in the first like 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the first round, he punched the black belt out of you. And then in the last half of that, he punched the purple or the brown belt out of you. And then he punched the purple belt out of you. And then he punched the blue belt out of you. So by the time he was ready to sub you, you were actually a white belt.
Anybody who does cartooning will take any submissions.
He's now 26-2-1.
@gmail.com.
Tied for the record for most consecutive title defenses at 10.
This should be the guy that is getting all the fucking like hype, and he gets
But
no,
he's
not how it
because
works,
he's this
Josh.
big.
I know.
He can't get height. He's this big.
Well, he doesn't talk a lot of shit. He's
Nope.
he's a reasonably humble guy, and he's also
He plays a lot of Twitch gaming.
Yeah, and he's like 98 pounds soaking wet.
I like when he had to get drug tested while he's in the middle of a raid on Twitch.
Yeah,
That was hilarious.
you're gonna have to hold it for me.
Yeah. Where does Demetrius Johnson go from here?
Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Garbrandt.
He says he doesn't want to fight Garbrandt yet.
Fuck it, McGregor Johnson. Let's do it.
No, he already said he would fight him.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he said he would fight him at 145, right?
I think there's. Do you think there's?
Did you wear fucking lead on? He's gonna go with the lead vest.
Could you imagine him with what? It would be 30 pounds extra weight, right? No, 20 pounds.
20 pounds.
I think it'd be a disadvantage. It'd be better if he was.
Dude, he comes in all swole.
He wins one more.
If his body fit his head.
Then he has the record.
He has the record for most title defenses in UFC history. He's already at 10 right now.
And that's what makes it so shitty that he doesn't get any love.
No, but and like he said, he
is literally the toughest fucking 7th grader on the planet.
I mean, and he's won with multiple. I mean, submit arm bars, TKOs, knockouts.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
all over the
Kimuras.
place.
I mean,
Decisions,
but they're like totally dominant, unanimous decisions.
Oh, well, we interviewed him. Remember, we interviewed him. Then you guys are like, you see a knockout? No, this time it's going to be a knockout.
Knockout
And
happened.
He knocked it out
Yeah.
He out cardio John Dodson, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
twice, right?
Twice.
It's bananas. The guy just doesn't market himself like, Conor McGregor does, obviously.
He doesn't feel like he needs to.
I don't
That's
think
not him.
McGregor markets himself. I think people don't market.
You think he hired somebody to just like do everything for him?
No, I think people see that they can make money off him, and I think there's people making money off of him, and I bet you he signs away more money than he ends up making at the. If you go back, he's gonna be like MC Hammer.
I don't know. I think he likes. I think he likes money.
You think so?
Just telling you.
MC Hammer's still doing just fine though. He's on a government allowance.
So we got. He lives in Lodi, doesn't he? Tracy. Something like that. Yeah.
Tracy.
Bellator going down 2 nights. Bellator 178, Strauss versus Pitbull, the 4th time. Daniel Strauss is going to be defending his belt against Patrizio Pitbull.
Strauss Pitbull Cuatro.
On ESPN, the Ocho.
So, Fury has won by submission and once by decision, where Strauss has won most recently by decision, so I guess we need to even it up. You're also going to have Ryan Quinn against Sahad Awad. AJ McKee against Dominic Mazzotta.
All right.
Check that out.
Poor name. Saad Awad, Blair Tugman.
On Spike TV. And then, of course, tomorrow we're going to have UFC Fight Night 108 going down in Nashville, Tennessee.
This looks like a good card for
Fox Sports 1. I like the card. I just don't necessarily like Cub Swanson against Art of Labamov, your main event. I like Cub Swanson. I don't know if Labamov is somebody that I'd like to see him fight right away.
I'm cool with the fight.
But whatever. Anyway.
Because it's a freaking
I
fight.
love the Alquinta Sanchez fight.
Yeah, so we got Hector Sandoval going up against Matt Schnell.
Well, Alexis Davis is actually fighting on this too on the
This
Fight
is all
Pass.
on Fight Pass. Brian Barberina against Joe Proctor. Alexis Davis against Cindy Dandois.
Dandois.
Dandelions?
Dandois.
Jessica Pena going up against Danielle Taylor. Scott Holtzman, Michael McBride. Dustin Ortiz against Brandon Moreno. And Talis Lide is going up against Smiling Sam Alvey.
Nice.
Those will be on Fox Sports 2. The Dose.
I love Sam Alvey.
Or is it The Deuce?
He's like, these people, I keep throwing punches
Deuce.
and they let them land on their face, so I'm just going to keep doing it.
Taking off Fox Sports 1, you got Jake Ellenberger taking on Mike Platinum Perry coming back for.
Yeah.
Didn't Ellenberger just fight?
I think that was the other Ellenberger.
Oh, there more than one?
There's 2.
All right.
Yeah, one of them has a talk show early in the morning. All right, and then Joe Lauzon up against Stevie Ray. John Dodson is taking on somebody else, and
Eddie Wineland, man.
Eddie Wineland,
I like
yeah.
Wineland a lot. He's got heavy hands, but I unfortunately feel like he's in the decline of his career.
and Dodson's got cardio.
Why is OSP fighting at a catchweight? What happened?
Because Lima didn't make weight.
Oh.
So Marcos Rogerio de Lima did not make weight, so they're fighting at a catchweight of 210.
Battle of the names.
That's a fucking huge miss, dude.
Yeah.
Huge miss, Marcos.
4 pounds?
Shame on you.
Yep. Alaquinta, Diego Sanchez.
Dude,
not going to be fighting tonight,
OSP's
according to
20%
Alaquinta.
happier.
This is true.
30%.
Oh, is it 30% now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, and this takes effect now. And the UFC gets a cut now, too, right?
Well,
Or
the commission gets cut and the fighter gets cut.
Way to do it. Way to do it, Marcos. Way to
And
do
then
And you don't get that money until you land on, what, free parking? Or jail?
something like that, yeah.
It's free. It's free parking. If you're married and you got to go home and tell your wife that you didn't make weight and you just lost 20-30% of your fucking purse. Oh man, you thought you fought in the cage. Woman's gonna murder you.
I would warm up the dice, because if you roll doubles, right?
You roll.
I think if you double those, it's clear. Or do you win the pot? How does that work?
If you roll doubles, it gets you out of jail. But if you roll doubles 3 times in a row, you go to jail.
What kind of rules are that? You get some weird house rules.
No, man, that's in the instructions.
Oh,
If you roll doubles 3 times in a row, you go to jail.
I think so.
You guys let people trade houses for hotels?
Isn't it 4 per hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Oh. Yeah?
Your kids been swindling you?
No, I've been swindling the kids.
Oh, okay. Cub Swanson and Artem Lomov are your main event. I got Cub.
I just want to know where you're getting an M for Artem Lobov's.
Lobov.
You keep saying Lombov.
Artem Lomov.
Reset the fucking clock.
Artem Lobov.
Lobov.
Lobov?
Mr. Lava Lava.
You've been
Lava.
woman maybe 2 ribbons?
The lava.
I don't know who I got in this fight, man. Cub is fast. He's got heavy hands. He's got great submissions.
Cub all day.
It's got to be Cub. He's the only California guy.
Even though he's SoCal.
I mean,
Cub.
I'll gladly take Cub in this one. I just think Artem Lobov is going to have a lot to bring to the table. So.
Are you one of those people like North Cal, SoCal? It's like
A
red
little.
and blue.
A little.
Really?
I mean-
so who's the Yanks?
Who's the Yanks?
Yeah. Who's the Yanks?
SoCal?
As in, like, the
SoCal?
Yankees?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would give that to SoCal.
So we're Confederates?
No, not like that.
No?
Not like that, man.
I don't know. I think we are kind of backwoods.
State of Jefferson is like the
I'm just saying,
Confederates.
yeah. If you go up north, I think people still have slaves.
You're going a little
saying.
flaccid there.
Yeah, there's the fucking ranch where they just caught the guy who kidnapped the 15-year-old.
What? I was just making jokes. Again, I'm not a credible source.
I'm not being serious. Well, not. I mean, that did happen. I'm just not saying that there were slaves up there. That would be. That would be erroneous on my part.
Where's the shovel?
How come I could hear it that time? I couldn't hear it earlier when you were pressing buttons.
Because you made the mistake.
Oh, wait.
There it is.
There it is.
Anyway, thanks for watching. We do appreciate that. Tell your friends. You can find us at splitdecisionmma.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at SD_MMA. On Facebook, Split Decision MMA Podcast. And anywhere podcasts are broadcast, really, man, make sure you tell your friends to download, share, like, all that stuff. And check out our sponsor, mymmanews.com. You can find them on Twitter as well. They do this 24/7. We do this once a week. So if you want breaking news, you got to follow them.
Apparently, it's more than 24/7.
That's,
According to Eric, he works really hard.
yeah, 26/8. Some shit
Don't
like
be a
that.
dick, George. Don't be a dick.
We're breaking stories for you, Eric.
You're a moron. You don't like fighting. You don't appreciate great talent or heart.
Pretty much. And also Walkie Crafts, home of the man card. Get yours today. You can find him on
That
Instagram.
motherfucker does work 26/8.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty much it from the Rudolph Family Inc. Studios. Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.
Get the fuck out of here!
Is it still